guys, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day, whether you're watching this in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening. I'm glad everyone's here. Today we are going to break down the Hinderer XM-18 3-inch Skinner and try to put some skiffs in it. Guys, before I get started, real quickly, I want to say thank you to all the channel members. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to say thank you to anyone who's found their way in here to check out my knife, my EDC content. I really appreciate each and every one of you. If you haven't had the chance yet and you're so inclined, if you hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon, it really helps me out. But most importantly, thank you for being here. So what I'm going to use for the pivot, I learned this on Metal Complex's channel, is I get a penny and I keep this painter's tape on it. It wears through. I've got probably 4 layers on it. But that works well for the pivot. And then with these Chicago screws, I use a Weha 1/16 bit for the 3-inch. And that is not a Torx. That is an, what would you call it, an Allen? Hex. These are those Chicago screws, so you really got to push down to get them to move, and you've got to push from the back side while you're pushing down from the front side to break them loose. And that one doesn't want to break loose, but it did. So there's 1, 2, and 3. All right. So now we've got our barrels trying to come out the back, which we can let those come out. And then we will get our, need to watch, we've got our black standoffs that will come out when we take it apart. But let's take our, see if I can get it just from the front side without having to hold the back with that tool. That's what this tool's for, if I needed to hold that back. But it looks like it's going to cooperate with me. What I do, guys, is I just get this thing turned far enough out to where I can grab it with my fingers, because it's got a lot of threads on it. So I just kind of screw it off. The painter's tape keeps me from scratching the hardware. Alright, so then we got our pivot screw out. Take our scale off. This is the only Hinderer I have not been able to find a battle black titanium scale for. Breaks my heart. But what we're going to do is we're going to take out, there's our standoffs, 1, 2, 3. We're going to take out our bearing here. Put our pivot back in. Got a little critter bug running around. Alright, so what I'm going to do is just show you guys how I found out the size of these. Took the pivot. It fits tightly through the 1/4. It's too tight to go through the 1 millimeter. So we know it's a 1/4 diameter pivot. And then I took my bearing, and it won't go through the 3/64. It slides right through the 1/16, and it's real floppy in the 2 millimeter. So it's a 1/4 inch, 1/16 by 1/4 inch bearing. So that's what I've got here that we're going to try to put in. But first, I'm going to see if I've got enough alcohol left to clean this up just a tad. Not a lot. Just a smidge. Because I don't think it has been cleaned. I don't think I've taken this one apart, because I wasn't sure until we did the Warncliffe what size bearings we were using. I'll clean off my pivot. Get it good and shiny, start fresh there. And I'm going to come over here to my blade. Get those bearings out of there. All right. Now I'm going to clean out my liner. And we should be ready to go. So, I'm going to take these bad boys and we're going to replace them with these little giblets. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my KPL original, put a little bit down in my track here, 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop, 4, that's too much, but that's me. And then I'm going to take a little bit and put it on my bearing, only because I'm going to rub that in to kind of condition those balls and that phosphorus. I'm going to drop that down over that, boom, push that back up. Then I'm going to get my KPL heavy. I'm going to put just a little glob on that detent ball, and I'm going to put a little glob right there. Put a drop of original on my bearing. Because I will oil it up, kids. I ain't scared. Alright, so now I want to make sure I get everything pushed through, which I do. And I want to get back to my original. Pop a drop times few. Get my last skiff. Pop a few drops. And rub that in. Bang. Pop a drop here. And now is when we have to push our barrels through the back and hold them with our pinky and our ring finger, because this is where the rubber hits the road in getting these guys lined back up. So we get all of our pins in, everything lined up. I don't want to put too much pressure on the pivot, but I do want to snap everything right back in just like that. That's perfect. That is actually perfect. If I can keep everything lined up, the first thing I'm going to do is try to sink a screw. Sink another screw. Try to sink this screw. I'm not tightening them up because I never go super torquey tight on these type of screws. I just go hand tight, but I want to have plenty of play for my pivot. Because what I'm going to do with it is twist it down by hand as far as I can go, which is pretty far. I should have cleaned it off first. in all truth, but I didn't. But I'll twist that down. And the great thing about a Hinderer, in my experience, is you can tweak it all the way down. You don't have to leave any slop for it to really have great action. So I'm going to just tweak it down tight. Dead nut centered. Locked up like a champ. Let's do this. Put up our KPL. Put up our heavy. Put up our cheat sheet. Let's give it a little snug on our body screws. And somebody find me a black titanium scale for this beautiful knife. This is the XM-18 3-inch. Picked up from my brother Dark Gravity. It was a little small for him. My first Hinderer. Probably my favorite Hinderer. It's now riding on 13 bearing ceramic skiffs, which is going to be better than these 9-ball steel. But I'll keep the 9-ball steel, put them back in my tri-way system. But yeah, guys, we have made progress. We have upgraded we upgraded one during Metal Monday's live tonight. We did the Warncliffe, and now we've done the Skinner. I'll let this go out tomorrow afternoon. You guys can watch it slow. But I hope you found it somewhat entertaining, educational, informative, helpful. I love each and every one of you. I appreciate you watching the content. If you're still here, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please look out for the guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Please look out for one another. Go forward with love in your hearts. And always choose debate, not hate. I love you all. Peace.